Yes, sir. We back, y'all. We live. You know what's up, man. RMT. We got a lot of things to go over today. All the way from, well, let me introduce myself. It's RMT here, Rambo the Reporter, head founder of RMT Productions, Rambo Media Team. The Rambo Media Team is made because of y'all. Y'all make me make y'all, and I hope we work together. So, part 1, Rambo Rundowns. We hopefully get to at least part 30 by the end of the year. We got Paul versus Silva, full fight rundown. Full card rundown we're gonna talk about first. Who won round by round, we're gonna talk about that second. Ashton Style, talk about him next, followed by Nate Diaz and his backstage altercation with Jake Paul's teammates, followed by Le'Veon Bell, Uriah Hall. That was a fight I really want to talk about. Jake Paul making $1.5 million to fight Anderson Silva, while Anderson Silva makes $500K, his counterpart.
Right there, bro.
Charles Oliveira, horse racing.
Yeah, on the side of the TV right there.
So we got
where you standing at?
We got Charles Oliveira, horseback racing, versus you know what I'm saying? I don't know who he was racing. I think he just racing like himself. DK Metcalf gets pranked. That's an interesting topic. I really ran up a lot of views on that. Hasbulla, is he racist? I have a video of him saying nigga and calling people American guys. You know, we don't appreciate racism, you feel me? Fans react to fights, so I'm gonna ask a couple of my family members, there are a couple fans over the phone, who they think won, man, who was their honest opinions. Then we're gonna follow that with what's next for the upcoming weeks, rest of the year. Fans react to, WWE Crown Jewel, Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. We're going to talk about that next week. We got Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, obviously on that card too, as well. UFC 281. We're going to talk about that. We got Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira and Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler. So we got a lot of things to go over today. So let's get this shit started, man. Hey, where else put the lighter at? I know the video was back here. Oh, never mind, I got it. So, let's talk about this Paul versus Silva shit right now. How am I rating the full fight card, including Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva? I'm rating that shit a solid 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10, low 6s. Maybe 6 on the dot out of 10. Like, the amount of the ticket cost compared to, like, the show that was put on, pretty good. The show, like, undercard, pretty much performed as expected. No knockouts to the prelim, like, featured bout, Dreamland Milton. I did meet Dreamland Milton. I was trying to tell niggas he worked with Tyson Fury, and he was gonna get a knockout. I just didn't know what round. So y'all go back and watch that video, man. Y'all thought I was lying and shit, this and that, whatever. Main card lived semi up to expectations. We had a WBO bout, contender bout for a belt. It was a rematch though, so it wasn't that interesting. But he won by TKO due to exhaustion, so that was shocking. So shout out Santiago, I think that's his name. Ashton Style, man. This man, from the bell ringing to knocking this motherfucker out, 20 seconds. This man is 8-0, 8 knockouts. This man is the truth. Do not play with him. 100 amateur fights, 110 total fights, and he wins most. Like, he's got like a 90% win percentage. So don't sleep on Ashton Style, man. Ashton Style is like the next him. Now we're gonna dabble in some smoke. follow the RMT Rundowns with Nate Diaz, backstage altercation. His teammate Chris Alvia did win by unanimous decision over Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike did not want to be there. I tell you, Dr. Mike is not a boxer, but he's gonna return, which is like what you want. You want your fighters to return. But Chris Alvia, you're sloppy, bro. The best thing I can say is you have a lot of sloppy boxing that hopefully you can clear it up within the next year. Cause like, bro, you're in a boxing ring now. And you over here, if you want to take this boxing shit serious, it's like start looking for more than overhead rights. Like towards the end of the 4th round, he was getting a lot of good combos to the stomach, combos to the head, shit like that. But in reality, like you're a UFC fighter, man. Like you and it showed. Nate Diaz fighting Jake Paul teammate in the background. Nate Diaz, come on, bro. Like you slapping motherfuckers. Like, I know that's a brand and all, but let's be real, bro. Like it's that shit don't get old. We can watch Nate Diaz slap motherfuckers backstage for the next 20 years and we gonna support that shit. You know why? Cause he's fucking Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz smokes weed, says fuck you, and he helps his niggas out. That's what we all want to do in life, man. We all want to be Nate Diaz. If you don't want to be Nate Diaz, you're a goofy. Now, do I think Nate Diaz will fight Jake Paul? No, I think Nate Diaz will just keep slapping around his teammates just so he could get some of his people to be on Jake Paul card. So, let's get that shit out the way. So Nate Diaz, hopefully his next opponent is like, you know, not Jake Paul, maybe like somebody a little bit less good than him, because Jake Paul he's like that, bro. Like Jake Paul is like that. Le'Veon Bell versus Uriah Hall. There was a couple rounds I thought Le'Veon Bell won. For them to give Uriah the 40-36 decision was kind of disrespectful on my part to say he won every round, because all he was doing was stepping forward, taking damage for at least 2 out of the 4 rounds. But maybe his output was better, but we don't know. Like, we just gonna go by what we think. Hey, if you could have scored he wasn't at the Le'Veon fight. Shit, huh? Bro, Le'Veon lost 36-40. Yes, and like, I promise you, Le'Veon won 2 rounds. But they wasn't giving it to him because he was stepping backwards while throwing the body shots. So yeah, shout out Le'Veon Bell, man. You're a warrior, but do not go in there with a UFC fighter. Go in there with football players. Stick to football players because they got the same mentality as you, as in like just giving the work ethic. Like UFC fighters' work ethic are different, bro. UFC fighters take punches to the chin, they take all that shit. You're not like that, bro. But respect that. Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. For them to give Jake Paul the unanimous decision is okay, but I can honestly say the scoring on like most of these fights were piss poor. Like some fights had like, I'm busy. He's in the house. Close the door. We back, y'all. All right, so yeah, Uriah Hall, like, you're definitely like that, bro. So don't even take anything less than like boxers, man. Or like take Anderson Silva in a boxing match, bro. Like take the loser of that fight, man. Uriah Hall versus fucking Anderson Silva. That sounds like I'll pay for that shit any day because I'm an MMA fan more than anything, and MMA fans will buy tickets no matter what. Like MMA fans will buy tickets because they like MMA fights. On to the next one. All right, we gonna move on to UFC. Charles Oliveira, horseback racing. That nigga was going pretty fast, man. You know, we like seeing Charles Oliveira racing horses, man. He looking happy in his home city, Brazil. Moha. Yes, sir. Shout out Charles Oliveira. He was going hella fast, man. Had hella fans out there. Think he won a trophy. On to the next one. We got DK Metcalf gets pranked. Comedy, man. DK Metcalf getting pranked was with a phone passcode, I think. It was a phone passcode prank that DK Metcalf got with, so shit. That was a funny ass prank, I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, man, DK Metcalf. It's not really too much to talk about on that shit because like, nigga, you got pranked, fucking move on. Hasbulla being racist? The fuck you mean Hasbulla being racist? Yes, nigga, there's a video. I have proof that Hasbulla said nigga multiple times. Hasbulla said nigga more than Nate Diaz. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. You tripping, man. You wildin'. So don't be on some shit like that. Like, Hasbulla, like, you cool. The black community love you. Don't lose the black community, nigga. Before we beat your ass, nigga. Word to be Bobby Green. Shit. Now we gonna do a fans react to the fight. So let's see if we can get a fan. Which one of y'all wanna be on my YouTube? Which one of y'all wanna be on my YouTube? I'm doing a live stream right now and I need somebody to come right now. Alright, now we're about to ask a couple fans how they feel about the fight, man. We're here with my cousins right here, man. They obviously went to the fight with me. So, I just want to ask y'all, rating that full fight card out of 10, what are y'all rating that fight?
The Jake Paul fight, right?
Yeah, the whole card. Like, all the fights you've seen. Like, if you could rate that whole yesterday out of 10, what would you rate it, fight-wise?
8.5.
8.5.
7.5.
Okay, we got an 8.5 and a 7.5. I'm going with 6 because I went to UFC event, so I seen like the difference. But how did y'all feel watching Anderson Silva get dropped?
I mean, he got paid, so he had to do what he had to do to get his money.
Facts. How about you?
I felt kind of disappointed. I don't like to see a black man get knocked out.
Yes, it's hard to see a brother get knocked down, but Anderson Silva is Brazilian, so it's not really us. But all right, who do y'all think Jake Paul should fight next?
Canelo.
Okay, what about you?
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate. So we got Andrew Tate